Hello everyone and welcome back to Table Tips, the MDC video series where we're going to talk about some of our favorite role-playing games or RPGs. In this episode, we're continuing along with our introduction to D&D or Dungeons & Dragons with some character building. So for many players, this is the most exciting part of getting into a new RPG. So your player character, or PC, is the persona that you will use to explore the world within your game. You can create a character that represents certain aspects of your own personality, or go out on a limb, try something completely different. Now, a lot of new players will choose a character, or create a character rather, that is similar to themselves, as those similarities can make it easier to get into the character, to get into that role-playing mindset. Because let's face it, that's probably one of the more intimidating things about starting this sort of game when you're completely new. So let's go through the process and create a character together. In this video, we're going to go through a brief breakdown of the different races as outlined in the player's handbook. So we're going to choose our race completely at random. So let's go through the options, roll the dice, and we will see what we get at the end of the video. So there are 9 basic races. In the player's handbook, there are other options out there in other source material books published by Wizards of the Coast. So I'll let you do some Googling and find those on your own. But for now, we're going to talk about dwarves, elves, halflings, humans, half-elves, half-orcs, dragonborn, gnomes, and tieflings. So, as I'm going through these, try to imagine some of the examples that you've seen in movies like Lord of the Rings or some of your favorite fantasy books. So we'll start with dwarves. According to the player's handbook, dwarves are described as bold and hardy, skilled warriors, miners, and workers of stone and metal. Though they are short in stature, their courage, endurance, and strength make them more than a match for any foe they face on their travels. Next up are elves. Elves are magical people of otherworldly grace, very long lifespans, who love nature, music, art, poetry, and the good things of the world. And that otherworldly grace will also translate into their skill on the battlefield. Halflings are a friendly and cheerful people who cherish the bonds of family and friendship as well as the comforts of home. Think about hobbits in Lord of the Rings. They may venture out into the world, but often for reasons of community, wanderlust, or just a general love of discovering new things. Humans are probably the most widespread race within most of your D&D games. Humans are the innovators, achievers, and pioneers of the world. They are the most adaptable and ambitious people of the common races, and are very well suited to that adventuring life. Next up, you have half-elves and half-orcs. So, half-elves, human, elf, a bit hardier than your usual elf, but more graceful and attuned to magic than your average human. Half-orcs, on the other hand, are half-human, half-orc. They inherit both traits from both of their human and orc ancestry. They are fierce warriors who laugh loudly, live heartily, and are more inclined to action than waiting around for something to happen. So in the case of both half-elves and half-orcs, you really get the best of both worlds with these types of races. Next up, you've got Dragonborn Dragonfolk. These characters look very much like dragons, but in a more upright humanoid form, with natural scales of vibrant hues. And the type of color scales that your Dragonborn has will dictate what other sorts of abilities they may have. So Dragonborn, for the most part, are an honorable people with a continual drive for self-improvement and self-sufficiency. They hate to fail and will hold a mastery of a particular skill as a lifetime goal. Next, you have gnomes. So gnomes, like halflings and dwarves, are smaller in stature, but have huge personalities. Their energy and enthusiasm shine through every inch of their being, because as far as gnomes are concerned, being alive is a wonderful thing, and they want to make the most out of every experience. Finally, in our list, you have Tieflings. So Tieflings are a humanoid race, but with a touch of demonic heritage, but that doesn't necessarily make them evil. They are resilient, charming, intelligent, and though they aren't quick to trust, they will be loyal to a friend or ally for life. So those are the basic races. Each race has a specified set of traits and characteristics that you can build upon to make your PC unique and really add more depth to your game. So to wrap this up, we're going to go ahead and roll the dice and see what we get. So whatever race, and next video we'll talk about class, whatever race and class combination we have, we're going to continue to build upon this character through the next few episodes of this video series. So I rolled a 3, which means we are going to be a halfling. Excellent. Friendly, cheerful halfling who is taken to the road in search of adventure. So for the next video, we're going to think about what kind of adventurer we want our halfling to be. But for now, we're going to end it there. I hope you enjoyed that. Keep gaming, have fun, and I will see you next time.